Hey, what's up with it, y'all? Welcome to my podcast, Cold Narratives. I'm your host, Iceberg Green. About to let y'all hear some of these cold narratives. Check it out.
My name is Arno Michaelis. I was a white nationalist skinhead, a lead singer in a neo-Nazi metal band. This is everything I'm authorized to tell you. In the most formative years of my life, I was just immersed in this hate and violence. I was actually at a neo-Nazi rally in Michigan where about 50 of us brawled with like 500 anti-fascists, and there were all too many times when we would jump people and just beat the out of them. I've done a lot of harm to innocent people and to society, and I need to be accountable for that harm.
Hey, what's up with it, y'all? Iceberg Green in the building. So today I have to go in. Oh man, there's so much going on in politics, and specifically, the Republicans, Democrat, far right, far left, and people are being targeted. I definitely have to admit that. And I told someone, I said, after that first year of him dealing with his immigration and all that stuff, he's going to come for Black people, Black Americans specifically, and we're seeing that. But one thing he's not targeting is a lot of these white nationalist groups. He mentioned one, but that's just one of so many. So I came up with this story. I found this story. It's about 6 months ago. It's from the Insider. The guy's Arno Michaelis. And he's going to talk about his adventure being a white supremacist. And I mean, this is a white man, and he's going to speak from a white man's perspective. So I'm definitely going to be unbiased about this because there's two sides to this. But the main side is white supremacy. So that's what we're going to focus on in this one. Check this out.
I had a swastika on my middle finger for a time, cleverly, so I could show it to someone before I hit them. The other symbolism we used, there was any kind of Norse ruin. Just like Hitler did, we co-opted the Norse folk religion and kind of made it into this white nationalist thing, which is, along with pretty much everything else in the ideology, is incredibly historically inaccurate, because the Vikings they killed people who looked like them, and they had peaceful trade and diplomatic relationships with North Africa and the Middle East.
So Arnold gonna give up some of the game. He gonna give y'all some of the game of how they rock and the codes, and yeah, man, because they got some, and they ideology, they definitely have some. So listen to this man tell y'all how they rock.
There's a lot of lingo to neo-Nazi movement. The first one I learned was 88. When I met the Chicago skinhead crew, a lot of them had sports jerseys on that had 88 as the number. The eighth letter of the alphabet is H. So 88 means Heil Hitler. So it's code for Heil Hitler. In the mid-80s, there was a really dangerous militant white nationalist terror group called the Order, or the Bruderschweigen, and they assassinated a Jewish talk show host. They were doing all kinds of things to fund a race war before they were ultimately taken down. But one of the members of the Order, who was in prison for life and unrepentant, he decided we needed some sort of slogan, some catchy mantra that the movement could use to unite us and inspire us. So he came up with the 14 words, which are: we must secure the existence of our race and a future for white children.
So as we can see, it's about power, supremacy, supreme over other beings. So, and you can see that, they're raised pretty much, and you can see it. And like I said, I'm not talking about everyone. I'm going to be unbiased about this. But you can see it. You can actually see it when they're growing up. Their parents teach them differently inside their house. It's a totally different upbringing. So as he was speaking about, it gave him power. It made him feel like, he was part of something very powerful, not just anything, because when we speak of white people, we know that they control and have power over a lot of stuff, especially politics. But let me get back to this, man. Check this out.
There were ways to identify as either a white power or an anti-racist skinhead, and it was typically involved the color of the laces in your boots and or the color of your braces that you wore. If you were a neo-Nazi, you'd have red laces, red braces. Anti-racist skinheads would sometimes wear white laces, although some people would say white laces are white pride. So they'd wear like yellow laces or anything but the red laces. And then, of course, beyond that, obviously, if you see someone with a swastika patch, a white power skinhead's typically going to have outright white supremacist symbols all over their body and tattoos and or patches on a jacket, whereas the anti-racist skinheads would also have like anti-fascist patches and things like that. Proud Boys, at their peak, the Proud Boys were like the modern manifestation of Hammerskin Nation, even though there was very significant differences, namely that the Proud Boys' official leader was a Latino man, and that would have never happened in Hammerskin Nation. But other than that, they were a street brawling, kind of street fighter oriented group. And I think a lot of Hammerskin Nation people, if they didn't grow out of it, which most of them do, honestly, they may have found themselves affiliated with groups like the Proud Boys.
So, y'all feeling me yet? Or no, not done. He's not done. So he's about to talk about, where he's from, his upbringing, and how segregated he is. And watch where he's from. Check this out.
Milwaukee, where I was from, is the most segregated city in the United States for many years running. And what that means for neo-Nazi groups is it's very easy to point at these severely depressed inner city areas and go, see, that's what happens. That's what they do. Those people create these neighborhoods. That's completely ignorant of the truth that all the ghettos in the United States were created by government policy. And because of being segregated and sequestered to these incredibly hyper-compressed inner city areas, that's what created those ghettos. It wasn't the people who lived there. But of course, no white nationalist is going to admit that. No neo-Nazi is going to look at the true driving factors of poverty and addiction and crime in our country. Instead, they're going to make a leap of logic and say it's the color of the skin of the people who live there that create these conditions, not the actual policies that did.
But with that being said, this just brings me back to President Trump. This is what brings me back to him. That's, this whole story, it comes back to him because these white nationalist groups exist. They exist. He knows they exist. He's close to them. They're his friends. So think about that, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all time. And this one, like I said, I'm gonna leave the link. I'm gonna leave the link so y'all can check this one out because this one was wow, for the most part. This one, yeah, this was a good one. So yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Iceberg Green. I'm out of here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I also want to say God bless those going through the struggle. And make sure you watch out for them cold narratives that the government trying to push on us, y'all. And to all my black people, I will be nothing without y'all. God bless you all.